Hello everyone, how are you? Thursday again. Every Thursday, 1 p.m. we've been hosting Abundant Soul Leadership, the episodes since earlier since actually last year, and in the beginning of this year, we changed the topic from inspiration and implementation time live with Spring to the Abundant Soul Leadership. And I really hope you enjoyed some of our previous episodes. And today, actually, I did not post the event announcement before my live video. I want to save some curiosity for you. And today, our topic, just as I shared in my video, it's about the leadership, the relational shift, and the abundance shift. And actually, previously, I'm referring to this book from John Maxwell. Let's see, the leadership. And I've been reading and also sharing previous some great chapters and inspirations. We've already shared the shift from the soloist to conductor, from a goals to growth, and from a perks to price. And today I want to share two chapters, and that's actually my favorite. One is the relational shift. It's from the pleasing people to challenging people. The second one is the abundance shift, from the maintaining to creating. So it's very interesting. I want to share with you. It's like through this book, we learned about the earlier life of John Maxwell, almost one of the top leadership mentor. I don't know how to describe him: entrepreneur, coach, mentor, leader of leaders, right? So he has been. I learned that he started in his almost like a 22nd. At that young age, he became a leader. How many of you could really become a leader at that young age, right? He started from like a church ministry kind of a leadership, and started to lead some small groups. And he learned the biggest lesson is like during that time, he really wanted people's affirmation to him, like people's to want to please people. And it's just like so many of us, we can resonate that, right? Personally, I'm also a people pleaser. I always want to, make other people, I care about other people, how do they feel, how I want to please them. But a little bit difference from my experience from John Maxwell's experiences, he wanted to get the affirmation from other people. I did not really think I wanted that part. Maybe unconsciously, I may want some affirmation and affirmation or praise from other people, right? But fundamentally, as a woman, maybe compared with majority men, right, they want more affirmation to feed their ego, feed their needs, to get confirmed by this society, by other people. Me, from a woman's angle, I more care about other people's emotions. I really wish that everyone could be happy around me. So it's more like focus on them. I really want them to be happy. So that's why I would do my best to get them to be happy. And especially I remember I had this problem with my relatives, with my family, everyone around me as well. So it's just like I want them to be happy. I could not tolerate other people suffer, So, and even like yesterday, I heard those inspiring stories from a single mom with 3 kids, right? I was touched into tears. So I was very, I'm still a very emotional person and can be very easy to be touched. And I think I have a very tender heart, always care about other people's wellness. And like in my coaching, right, abundance coaching, I want everyone to be happy. And 10 years ago, I started my coaching as a happiness coach, so you will know that I really genuinely wish everyone to be happy. So I did not expect to really get affirmation from other people, but I genuinely want other people to be happy. But similarly, similar to John Maxwell, like we want to please other people, really, go our extra miles to make sure other people are satisfied. Otherwise, we will feel like a little bit nervous, and we'll try to always think about why they are not happy. How could we make them happy? So that became our earlier stage of leadership focus. So so John really shared with us that it's not really doing the best for everyone, right? If you want to please everyone, it's also really like a mission impossible, really mission impossible, right? And have you other mission impossible? I think that this is one of the most mission impossible kind of missions. and to please everyone and want to get everyone around you be happy. And also through my leadership experience, I also like I also get to the seminar actually, epiphany and understanding of John Maxwell is like quite some people, you know, not everyone is really that kind of like self-motivated, and quite some people, if you want to motivate them, and if you really want to like how to say, lift them up and make them happy, not everyone really can get on that kind of a let's say self-realization, or like even be, but many of people I just found that they do not necessarily have that kind of a like vision on how to say the consciousness and awareness to motivate themselves and really want to get to the next stage. So I especially like what he said. John said, you cannot lead people if you need people. Let's say if my pronunciation is right. You cannot lead people if you need people. So it's really like I think this applied to our marketing and sales as well. When you need people, you need people, desperate, want them to feed how to say, to feed you, to serve you, and to, like for John, it's like in his earlier leadership, he said like feed his affirmation, he needs, that's his needs, right? And then you could not really lead people, and could not be a leader to really get the best of people, because you focus more on what you can get, and it's focused on yourself, right? Instead of a focus on other people. And here some questions. So how to shift from a pleaser to a leader, to real leader. He summarized the seven things John suggests us to do. The first one is really change your expectations toward leadership. Your leader is not really, especially our motivation. We are not just the server, like every single one to want to make every single one to be how to say, to be greater. And here is like he put a different order for the motivations. Instead of putting me, right, myself in the on the top, the priority, and then think about others and think about the organization. Put the right order should be the priority, should be the motivation. Number one is the think about the big picture, the organization, whichever organization you are needing people. So think about what's the best for the organization, and then the next order is what's the best for other people within the organization. Okay, and then the third one is what's the best for me. So put yourself at the how to say, the third one, but the number one is really the big picture, the whole organization. So that's the right order. If you sometimes think only about some specific people or how to please them, and then you may forget about the whole picture, how the whole organization can really be moved forward and can really get get the best benefits from the change or the decision to make. So that's a great shift. And since then, he did felt like a great loneliness as a leader. So how many of you sometimes feel like loneliness as a leader? And for our entrepreneurs as well, majority of the time we are alone. And sometimes you may feel lonely, right? And if you try to please everyone, like because you feel lonely, try to please everyone, you just want to, how to say, get out of that kind of loneliness. But then if you change the motivation, really focus on the big picture, how the whole organization and the team and the group can really get the best benefits, and it's unavoidably you will feel loneliness, and that is normal actually, especially for great leaders, because you are there to lead the whole organization towards a vision. Not everyone, not every single one will necessarily buy in what you are doing and the vision, so we cannot guarantee that. So unavoidably we will feel that kind of loneliness. But if you are doing the right things for the whole organization and the other people, that's a price. We earlier shared that, right? That's a price you need to prepare to take. And very interesting, like the question John wanted us to ask is like ask other people, are we also ask ourselves, are we committed? So that you never know if people are really with you until you ask them for commitment. So when we ask people for commitment, the real one who are with you will commit to it, and others will, automatically really fall out. And the second thing he asked us to take the shift is like value people as much as you value yourself. So this is very important to give people, when you start with value yourself, you will also value other people. So leaders who value their people give them their best effort. Leaders who value their people serve them. Leaders who value their people empower them. Leaders who value their people motivate them. And so that's only then you will give your best to serve your people. So really truly that's a fundamental core values of John's teachings. Really value people. First you value yourself, and then you value people who you need, so you can give the best, serve the best to them. And number 3, the things to do to take that shift from pleasing people to leading people is work to establish expectations up front. So it's this upfront appreciation and upfront expectations, upfront questions. So everything you do it proactively, not wait till like not hide any motivation or hide your expectations. Otherwise, we know that most kind of a conflict and discontent, most time a conflict between people because of the expectations, right? Even small to like a marriage or life partners, a family, or like a small group, and or like a bigger organizations. Most time people get that kind of a conflict and a dysfunction is like really because of the expectation they did not manage well and did not really communicate well in advance. So what are your expectations for our interaction? This is a question John would always ask when he would have a conversation with people. He will ask first, what are your expectations for our interaction, for our conversation, or for our communication, right? So this is a really pave the tone for people's expectations, and also learn in advance what people's intention for this kind of thing, intention for our conversations, what they are expecting from it. So this will always help him to understand another person's, another side's intention and what they want, their needs, right? So it's not about me or not about you, it's about the big picture. And let's say the team doesn't play its best when its best player thinks it's all about himself, right? So it needs to think about the whole big picture, must value other people, and expect it to keep growing. And only when you keep growing, you can make other people around you grow as well. You must be prepared to change. That's true. Can you imagine any growth without change? So the change is must, and the change is essential. And everyone has to earn the leader's time. So that's very important. And here is a principle John shared, I especially like. He said, by being a productive member on the team, he practiced the 80-20 principle. He said that give 80% of his time to the 20% of the team that produced 80% of the results. So really focus your time on those high productive person who are really committed, instead of focus more of your time on those like lower productive people and who are like not motivated and who need other people to push them. And you will get so exhausted if you, spend the majority of your time to work with those who need your push. That's the hard work of leadership, okay? And then you ignore those high productive people who are motivated and they need more support and guidance and mentorship to even generate higher performance. So it's really in just like 80-20% principle. So I really like that. So John would ask himself, I want to underline this. He said, will they do it? Can they do it? Is it worth the effort to ask them? So before he decided how much time, I heard this kind of a saying from different great leaders. They said, do not really focus on your time, prioritize your time, focus on those high performers who are really committed and motivated. So other people, so you would not just give your time free, because you have all the resources, right? All the other resources may be, much cheaper than the time, because time is our life. Everyone has very limited time and life. Our life is precious, right? Only one time life. When you give the time away, that means you give your life away. So you need to really cherish your time. Do not just simply give your time free. I still remember at the beginning of my coaching, I like many other coaches right at the beginning, we really want to please people, really want to get their trust, to give our values away, right? So we give our time free to other people because we were not confident enough, and we really just want other people to like us. So we provide free, and we dare not to charge. And so we ask just to provide free services. And sometimes we like exchange our free services for testimonial things, right? That's even some other mentors are still suggesting you. So now I do not suggest to do for that. If you are not confident, work on your confidence, work on your inner worth, work on your values of your offers instead of giving free or exchange for testimonial, whatever. So because you are giving away your life, and you really need. Remember earlier we mentioned about if you cannot need people if you need them. So it's also similar to our entrepreneurs. You cannot sell if you need people. You cannot really provide great value if you need people. It's really like people need you. Only when people need you, and you can provide the best value. So that's actually one of the best marketing and sales strategies I've ever learned from those multi-million masters and mentors. They share with us that only when you do not need them, then you could really serve them and sell to them. So here similarly, other people have to earn your time, make that kind of a boundary and a decision in your mindset. And I've already made the decision. So I will not try to please people and try to give free if they said, oh, I cannot afford. So I will not buy in such kind of excuses. I will work further on my offer, work further on the values, but I will not just like to please them and to give for free. Okay, I would only serve the ideal people who deserve my time and my value. So that's the thing I wanted to share with you. So, and always take responsibility. Responsibility and accountability, the two most important things is like so you can empower other people. Let's see other great things, and he shares some laws. Okay, now move on to the number 4 things you need to do is ask yourself the hard questions before any potentially difficult conversation. So before any difficult conversation, you should ask yourself the challenging, tough questions first. And for example, he said, what is the source of the problem prompting the need for this challenging conversation? Is it an external issue? Is it a problem within the other person, or is it in me? Okay, so find out. He even gave a list of questions to consider and put a chart there, and yes or no, answer those questions before any big, let me give you some example. What's those tough questions to consider, okay? He asked himself, have I invested in a relationship enough to be candid with them? Do I demonstrate that I value them as individuals? Am I sure this is their issue and not mine? That's very important. Do not like always push the responsibility or blame other people. Well, first find out honestly when you are reflecting this with yourself to see, is this my issue or their issue? Okay, and am I sure I'm not speaking up because I feel threatened? Yeah, here is like a very reflect about yourself. Are you speaking up? Honestly share the right opinion and things. Is the issue more important than a relationship? Oh, that's challenging, right? Is a relationship, sometimes the relationship is very important and we do not want to harm a relationship, so we try to avoid any kind of a challenging situation. We try to please other people. So it's really like, is the issue more important than a relationship? Sometimes we may have to, unplease other people, but to really solve an important issue. And then the next question is, does this conversation clearly serve their interest and not just mine? You always put other people's interests inside of it. Am I willing to invest time and energy to help them change? Am I willing to show them how to do something and not just to say what's wrong? Okay, here it's like, am I willing and able to set clear, specific expectations? So here part is like, what do you want to do? Like go maybe extra mile. Really, does it worth it? Do you really want to do that? Have I previously addressed the issue or problem in a less formal setting? Okay, so it's some like other ways before you have the too formal and a tough situation and decision. Did you really use some other informal way, maybe less formal ways to address it? Okay, number 5, what you should do to have this relational shift from pleasing people to leading people is challenging people. Is really number 5 is when the tough conversation is leaded, do it right. Okay, don't avoid it. Number 6 is to understand the 20, 50, 25, 25, 50, 25 principle. So this is very interesting. I want to share with you what it means, the 25, 50, 25 principle. Typically, he said, 25% of people will support your efforts. That's 1/4, right? People will support your efforts. And 50% people will be undecided. That's like standard normal people. Most of people are not very, how to say, could not find it easy to make their decisions. So 50% people were undecided. They will like keep mutual, or they will not give their, if you are doing some survey, maybe 50% people will choose like in the middle, or they do not, they choose be silent, do not express their opinions, right? And another 25% will resist change. So this is just like a roughly percentage. So our job is to help the middle 50% join the first 25%. So here, very important, like to transform those or persuade those 50% majority middle standard part people to become those the first 25% people, join them to support you. Instead of wasting your time and to do the hard work to try to persuade the last 25 people who are resisting you. So this is a great solution for you to avoid how to say trying to please other people, wasting your time and do all the hard push. And so that's great. And number 7, now it's balance care with candor. And people first are based on your position. Here he suggested some of the 5 levels description about the position, your permission, production, and people development, and pinnacle based on respect. People help you. So this is really about balance your care with your candor. The care is really values other people, establishes a relationship, shores up a weakness, offers comfort, makes the team pleasant. The candor is really like your honesty, right? You values the person's potential, expands the relationship, brings out strength, offers a challenge, makes the team productive. Really, folks, the shift, folks from the how to say just caring and just want to please them, but to another side is really like want to get the people's best out of them and challenge them, including the challenging them, and make them be productive and move forward for the goals of the organization, for the whole team. So that's the first part of the relational shift from pleasing people to challenging people. And the next leadership, and this is one of my favorites, it's called the abundance shift. This is totally what my dearest topic, right? The abundance shift is really from motivating to creating. And I hope you've already figured out that I'm quite a creative person. Like I could not live even one day without some creativity. So he mentioned about the quote from Vince Lombardi. He said, the joy is in creating, not maintaining. That's true. Like I found in my 10 years of entrepreneurship, the most fun part is really all the kind of creativity part. From the, from your vision to the passion part to the, how to say, the whole system building, from clarifying your niche, from how to say collecting with your ideal audience, from all the marketing content, from my branding, from my my speaking, including my speaking now, including like other events, all the communication and the connection with other people, and offers, all this kind of thing, right? It's involved with creativity. So that's the best part of entrepreneurship. That's the one, no wonder quite so many, like millions of people want to get into entrepreneurship, because every one of us, I believe, we are creative. We have a creator inside of us, like God created us. So he put that little creator inside of us. So he's just a part, we're part of him and he's part of us. So it's like we are born to be creator. And if you cannot your creativity part cannot be satisfied, you will never feel like really satisfied with your career or anything in your life. So here is very important to recognize which zone you are in now. Okay, he mentioned about the 4 zones. Even though everyone has a creator inside of us, but does not mean necessarily everyone is already in that kind of a creative zone already. So here there's 4 levels of zones. Say where you are now. The first one is the coasting zone. I do as little as possible, coasting. And the second one is the comfort zone. I do what I have always done. So that will make you comfortable, right? And number 3, the challenge zone. I attempt to do what I haven't done before. And number 4 is the creative zone. I attempt to think what I have never thought before. So he definitely, John recommends you to get yourself out of the coasting and the comfort zone and get more into the challenge and especially the creative zone. So, and unlock the, he suggests us to unlock the mentor blocks that keep you out of the creative zone. So yeah, there are, let's say how many? 7. Yeah, he lost 7, and me too. So number 7, all the 7 mental blocks. The first one, for example, that's all our excuses as well. We will say why we do not want to get into creative zone, right? We do not want to challenge ourselves. We want to stay in the comfort zone or coasting zone. It's like want to do as little as possible. The number 1 mental block is find the right answer. And we worry about, well, maybe it's not right, so we do not want to do that. And number 2 blocks is like that's not logical. So we use our logical mindset to how to say, to cancel or block or delay many kind of good ideas. That's why, like sometimes we said in masterminding, just keep open, and whatever people are sharing, do not judge, do not say that's not good or that's not logical. Okay, number 3 blocks is follow the rules. So many people I just found in the organization or sometimes even in the churches, people follow the rules and they do not want to open for the new ideas. And they will say, oh, that's against the rule. I hate that saying, right? That's against the rule. But the rule are really defined by people. So if you really want to judge something, first judge the rule. And the block 4 is avoid ambiguity. And people always, that's our nature, actually part of our nature is want to have a certainty. If something's not certain, we don't feel secure, right? That's part of our big blocks as well. And then number 5 mental block is like failure is bad. Oh, that's a big block, right? I should say like a majority of us, if not everyone, we will be afraid of failure. We do not want to like be a failure especially in our family, in a friend's eyes. We do not want to be a failure. So that blocks us. Do not want to take risk. Do not want to do take risk or make changes, right? We want to be safe. And then number 6 is don't be foolish. Oh yeah, most time we self-judge ourselves already. Before we share some ideas, we will say, oh, some other people may think that's foolish, right? Then you kill your ideas. And number 7 is I'm not creative. Most people think they are not creative enough or they are not good enough, so they block themselves the idea. That's a self-sabotaging and it's perception, and that's actually a lie. Every one of us, as I mentioned, we're born to be a creator. We have a big potential and the energy and the power there. Majority of us have not really utilized that or discovered that. And even though sometimes like people like me, right, we may call us as creative, I guess we've only used maybe a few percentage of our creativity. And I believe there's a big potential out there we've not really discovered and explored yet. And I believe it's unlimited. So it's unlimited. What we know so far, our creative part is only a few percentage. And what we did not know, the unlimited creativity part that there is like majority part there. So here, John also shared with us the creative principles to learn and live by. First, he said, build a creative culture. If you are leading other people in a group or organization, build up a creative culture, support people, and really encourage them to be creative. And don't blame and don't punish, and let people feel like safe and encouraged to be creative. Okay, so for example, some some things you can do is really fuel the passion. That's always I've been emphasizing in my coaching and in my community, abundant entrepreneurs. I always encourage other people to be creative, and I try to be that kind of a role model. And another one is celebrate ideas. Celebrate, okay, even just ideas, doesn't matter. It is like you will be successful on that ideas or not, but even just the ideas, celebrate with that. I definitely do this with my kids. If they have good ideas, okay, encourage them. And then foster autonomy. Encourage people to do that. If they have an idea, encourage them to follow the idea, to to be creative, to do things. And then encourage courage. It's really important. Majority of our creativity is really backed by courage. Without courage, people do not even want to, how to say, get ideas. So the courage is very important. And minimize hierarchy. That's very important. The more hierarchy or rules you have in your group or organizations, that's limiting people. And you have like layers. That's why in organizations, many organizations, formal like companies, people are feel like limited. That's why so many people want to leave the corporate world or get into entrepreneurship, because like they feel like all this hierarchy, they can never see that vision, can never feel like valued, and they feel like limited, cannot find that worth and value in that kind of hierarchy. And also hierarchy has more politics, right, with people's energy, and do not really foster greater like creative ideas. And then another thing is like reduce rules. Yeah, reduce rules, because author Henry David wrote, then with this Theodore wrote, NF4 can make a rule and NF4 will mind it. So definitely he's a free spirit, I can see that. And General Douglas MacArthur said, you are remembered for the rules you break. Ooh, I like that idea too, like John said. You are remembered for the rules you break. All this kind of innovative revolution in our society, right? Any aspect of our society, those heroes, they were remembered majority time because they broke the rules, right? They broke the rules of the, those authorities, and broke the rules of, unfair kind of discriminations, and that's where all those heroes, right? You are remembered for the rules you break. Okay, definitely think about what rules you can break in your life. And then fail forward. Don't be afraid of a failure, right? We make new mistake, that's good. Oh, okay, there's a great company motto. They said, we make new mistakes. They're encouraging people to fail, encouraging people to make mistakes, and free people's creativity. That's great. And start small. Don't be afraid that if you want one great idea, look for a lot of good ideas, right? Do not just expect you will be great immediately. Think about those good things. And very interesting. This is an example for my Facebook Live video as well. And my kids ask me, Mom, who are watching your Facebook Live? Is that really working? Something like that. And so far, my Facebook Live may have, my videos may do not have so many followers or like viewers, right? But I do not really care about that part. What I care is what I started to practice my ideas, my creativity, my speaking, everything is like it's like my rehearsal. I told my kids, this is my every performance, every like live videos, things like this is really my rehearsal to my greater performance. So that's one of my speaking mentors mentioned about that. Take every performance is a rehearsal of your next great performance. Okay, and all these smaller performances will eventually lead to your great performance. So I'm preparing for that. So start small, okay? Don't worry about that. And now, that's the first principle of build a creative culture. And now the second principle is make everything better. Make everything better. Creativity is not the finding of a thing, but making something out of it after it is found. You see, creativity, sometimes we think, oh, we have to be so innovative to create something totally new. No, actually, throughout thousands of years of human, civilized society, right? Almost like every aspect, everything's, you've already got some ancestors and people in front of you. ahead of your life, already create something. And so being creative is really like incrementally adding some things and creating something a little bit, maybe a little bit different, but always better than before. So don't worry about, oh, I created something, my offer maybe not so creative, not so innovative in the market, because so many people, so many masters or experts have already created. So then you feel like, oh, my offer is not good enough. No, even just a little bit better than your competitors, or a little bit better than your previous how to say, experts, that's good enough to help people. Okay. And then number 3 principle is make plans but look for options. So make plans but do not just stick to it, the plans. Always be a little bit flexible and look for options and how to, like, different ways to make the eventually meet the targets. Okay. And the number 4, the principle is really place high value on ideas, high value, and start gathering ideas and test every idea that you gather. And I remember in the how to say, ClickFunnels, their practice really like all the split test of their funnels. That's really like gather different ideas and test them, and analyze your failures, adapt other ideas, and question all assumptions. That's a process. You really place high value on ideas. Every idea really deserve, like, how to say, deserve some tests to see if it's good, and to let it, the market, for entrepreneurs, let the market test it. And number 5 principle is really seek out and listen to different voices. Oh, this is not so easy, right? Many people, we are okay to think about our own ideas, but we're not sometimes so open enough to listen to different voices. And the majority of us, I think, will be if that kind of ideas are not totally aligned with mine, will be against it. So here is really how to say, be humble yourself, and always value other people's, even though it's totally different or even against your opinions, and think from their, how to say, that will inspire you to think from different perspectives, actually. So we'll value other people's, listen to other voices. Creativity thrives when one subject is approached from many different perspectives. See, approach from many different perspectives. So that's the value of mastermind. Why we want our mastermind groups, because we want to listen to different perspectives and feedback and ideas from different angles. Okay. So, and number 6 is take risks. Take risks. I just read some social media articles and videos about some people, over 100 years, they are still taking risks, and in their life and different adventures. That's really a great example of creativity. Over 100 years old, just dare you to try different risks, still like explore life and try those things you've never tried before. And then now number 7, the principle, live on the other side of yes. This is very interesting thing. What does that mean? Initially, I thought, live on the other side of the yes. Does that mean like live on the no? No, it's like the other side of yes is always like yes. He has some people give him feedback, so I'm always try to say yes whenever I can. So imagine the opportunities everywhere. Imagine the opportunities everywhere. Imagination is one of the last remaining legal means you have to gain what feels like an unfair advantage over your competition. Imagination. Even when you feel like your competition is so big over you, but you could have the imagination that's not limited by anything, that could be beyond any of your competition. And prepare for opportunities. Always get prepared to activate your current opportunities. It's really important to catch opportunity, right? I always love what Tony Robbins said, take immediate action instead of waiting. Whatever you learned, you take action. Otherwise, you lose that opportunity. Like what the new information, inspiration, wisdom you learned today, choose at least one piece you think like could help your work or your life, and take that piece into practice immediately. Otherwise, you lose the learning, and the learning the next day you will lose 60% of them, and it's not really helping you at all. So really activate your current opportunity. And let's see. Okay, the final calling. from John Maxwell, and also I want to share with you, is like, don't ever get comfortable. When you are get very comfortable in your life, maybe 1 day is okay, or 2 days is okay. Okay, I'm not saying that you do not deserve some comfortness in your life, to take some break, take some, like, how to say, breath, take a breath back, right? Sometimes we may need that comfortable, a little minor breaks to recharge us and get our energy back and get us how to restored and refresh and recharge. But don't get comfortable for too long, okay? And always challenge yourself. Make the shift to abundance, the creator's status. Get out on the edge. Take the risks, okay? Take the risks. Always try to explore something new and break new ground. Break new ground. Set up like different standards and push yourself and to meet that challenges. Seize opportunity and get creative. So that's today's message. I hope you enjoyed it. And actually today is quite a little bit long. It's over 40 minutes already. And I really want to know what you feel like the most. What even one piece you can remember that you feel like really inspired, that you can apply in your life and work. Please comment under my video. Let me know what works the best for you, okay? So let me know what maybe the new idea and some new like a challenge to you, and that can get you out of your comfort zone. Okay, thank you so much, and I wish you have a wonderful Thursday. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.